Last time we had more than 6 presentations. So today we have 4 presentations lined up for you on content management and content meetups. To give you like the basic, this meetup is basically around content management technologies like search technology, mobile content management, semantic web. Today we have 4 presentations lined up for you, and there will be 15 minutes in length. You will have 10 minutes of questions and answer sessions just for you. For the first presentation, I would like to invite Viraj. His presentation will be on Drupal, especially Drupal views, which is a very important module in Drupal CMS.
Thank you, Lakshika, and good evening to you all. So, to start with, I might go pretty fast with the demo. So, you can just take down the notes and ask me anything at the end of the session, the presentation. So, the important part is actually not the presentation, the slides, but it's the demo. So, pay your attention to the demo. I'll just go through the first few slides. First of all, I'm going to talk about Drupal views. So, anyone heard of Drupal views? Anyone use Drupal views? Please put your hands up. Who use Drupal views? Okay. So, Drupal views basically is used to display content in the Drupal content management system, right? So it's one of the most downloaded modules, contributed modules, and it's so commonly used inside websites that in Drupal 8 it's in code. So you don't have to specially install it from Drupal 8 onwards, you will have it in code. So the first thing a developer should know about the views module is it's a query building tool, right? And it has these dependencies, JavaScript tools, and all modules will use Views API to write add-ons to views, so that you can use it. For example, like the Google Maps module will write a Google Maps handler for the views, something like that. Even the events module will have a calendar integrated into views, something like that. So the main thing is, in a big site, the way you maintain your views. When you maintain your views, always use the main view and use the sub-views inside it. I'll show you what I mean. But basically, it's something like if you have a site that publishes products, you'll have to have a main view called products view, something like that, and have your all product blocks, product pages inside it, so that it's easier to handle that way. Unless you see a significant change in the view logic, then you can bring it out and put it in another main view, right? So before you start, always the thing people miss is the settings tab right in the views configuration page. So always make sure you configure your settings, because it has a lot of tools that makes development easier. So a lot of developers don't realize this. So please make sure you go to your settings and do whatever the configuration you want. And I'll come to this later. So for this, for easy development, I've installed a module called Module Filter, which makes my module list more searchable. Token DL module is for my development functions. Admin menu for easy navigation, and advanced help. This is the module that has the views documentation integrated in it. So when you install advanced help, it will have the views documentation in it, so you can follow that documentation. Necessarily the first page in the documentation is still sadly the views 2 screen, but from there onwards it goes on to views 3. And for the demo, I have installed entity, date and entity reference just to make my content types and all that. Okay. So I'll come back to this. I'll go into my demo. Okay. So as you know, settings tab. This is the views configuration page. Settings. Well, do whatever you can. Off cache, show your SQL query, do various things in this. And you can make the main master view always shown, whatever, the debugging, you can do a lot of things in there. And next we'll add a main view. So first of all, the main view name, right? Sorry, right there. And we have to put a main view name. Then I'm going to create a view from products. Just to stop that, I have content types. I have content type called products. So products will have a type, description, and a price. So basically, I put computers and mobile phones as products. So my types will be mobile and computer. Just for the understanding, keep that in mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create. I have other content types also. I'll come to that later. But first, it's about the products. So these are basically your base tables that you pull out the content from, right? So basically, like for example, content is referred to the node table in your database. So let's continue with this. And since I know I am getting products, I am adding the filter here itself. What this will do is it will add the filter saying pull out all the data that belongs to the content type called product, right? So this will add a filter, and I'm going to add a page view. So basically, there are a few types of displays. One is the page, next is the block, and I'll come to the other one later. Okay, so I'm going to add a page. So I'm going to add a grid, and I'm going to make sure the data is displayed as teasers, right? So, okay, and you go ahead and you go for continue and edit so that you can continue the configuration as well. So, this is going to be our views configuration screen, right? So, as I told you, there is a basically this is the default filter that comes with the view, and this is telling the view that you have to only bring out products, right? So those are the filters. I'll just come to filters as well. So now you can see it has brought out several products that I have in my data already, right? So going ahead. So now there is the description, and this is the default teaser. So the only way now, let's say we want some more fields in the teaser. So the only way you can do it is by going into the content type display, which is here, manage display in the content type, right? So, just put this up a little bit. So here, since I need, as you saw, the body and the title is only on the display. So I want to add an image. So you have to come to the content types display management screen and make sure your image goes on top. As you can see, these fields are all hidden. So that's the only way you can manipulate your fields when you are using the teaser for display. So I'll show you that. I'm going to add, and I'm going to make sure the format, the original image is too big for a small grid. So I'm going to use the thumbnail here. These are image styles. You can also configure your image styles. So I'll update, and when I go back to the view, you should see the image. Update view. See, I see the image also. Right. So basically, with every style format, you have several style formats. The grid, the HTML is, I'm not really sure where that came from. I think it's from a contributed module. Usually you will have grid, HTML, table and unformatted list, as I can remember. So, and each display format will have separate settings, right? So that's the settings. So I'm just going to reduce the columns into 3 because my view is too wide. So there you go, 3 columns. So, we'll save it, and then I'm going to the page. So, as I added a page, so when you go to product list, you can see your view. So, basically, you have a view. It's easy, and it's a quite cool tool views. So, now I want to show you a different display. So, I'm going to change this into, instead of content, I'm going to make sure it's fields, so that I can manipulate it more inside views itself. I don't have to go outside the configurations and go into the trouble of just several more clicks, right? So, and here what you should make sure is, now this is the important thing. If you have like since I have only one view here, one display here, it's not going to matter. But when you have several displays, right? Here I have only one. But if I have several displays, you should make sure your changes are applied to the correct display. Or else, if you leave this, all displays, it will apply to all displays. So if you have like 8 sub views, it will apply to all the things and you screw up everything. So make sure you do that at the beginning, before changing anything. So that's this configuration again. So I'll just get that there. And then now see, now by default the content title, the title is always added. As you know, for a content type, title is a default field. So I'm going to add only titles. So I'm going to add the image and the price. So I don't want the description there. So I'm going to add the image. So this is called adding fields. The cool thing here is from views 3 onwards, they have a filtering option, which is pretty cool, because usually in a big site you might have like 400 fields. So it's a hassle to just search along the field. So this is a quite cool option. You can type any keyword here and it will filter out any of the. So now I have to take my image field in my node type for products. So I click on that. So I'm going to add the image field now. So basically you've got the several configurations when you're adding a field as well. So make sure you always be aware of these things and read all the small descriptions given. I tell you why it's important, because it gives you a lot of information, right? So I'm going to just again change the image style here. See now these image styles are the default ones. You can add whatever the image style you want, and there is a in Drupal itself. It's in Drupal, so you don't have to install anything. So I link it to the content, and another nice thing is this actually used for theming. You can customize your field HTML, label HTML, or the field label wrapper, which means the element outside the field and the label, right? So how you can do it is you can just click on the customize, and just go and choose HTML element or just keep none. Create a class and write the CSS class in your CSS, and you can add your styles and it will apply to this field. Yeah. So we'll leave it like that. I'm not going to do it right now. And the next thing is, if the default classes mess up, it messes up your HTML, what you can do is you can take them off by taking the tick off, right? So I'll come to this a little bit later. Rewrite result is another cool feature. So there you go. So I have the image and the title, but I don't want the image label, so I'm going to remove the image label. Go to image, and I'm going to remove it. Okay. So apply and look for the image label removed. And now I'm going to add the price. Again, search for it and add. Now, since the price is a number, you have other formatters here. So I'm not going to go through everything. So just for you to know. Okay. So I'm going to take off the label and I'm going to apply. So I've got the price as well, right? So now basically what I'm going to show is the rewrite field. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the title off here and bring the title over here so that I image the title and the price. So I'm going to use the rewrite feature to do this, right? Okay. What I'm going to do is first I have to exclude the title field, which you can do here. So why you exclude is, if you are using the token. A token is a representation of the field. It's just a small representation with the machine name inside square brackets. So you'll see it. So I'm going to first exclude the title field, which will take off the title field. And that's why I told you to read the small descriptions. So you actually don't need, not needed to go into the internet and search for stuff. Quite there. So now I'm going to rewrite the price. The thing is, why I'm rewriting the price is, in order to use this token, it should be above the rewriting field, which means I can use title and image tokens on price, right? So it always needs to be above, otherwise it doesn't load in, right? So I'm going to rewrite the output of this field. So I'm going to see they will show the replacement patterns. See, this is the title, can get the price, the image, whatever. So I'm going to take the title. I'm going to put a small icon in there, and then add the price. That, and that should be. So now I got the price and the way I want it, right? So I'm going to save it and show you the page. Okay, so that's the product view that we created. So going forward, I'm going to add a small filter called the type. So basically what I'm going to show is, I'm going to show only my computer products. So that's why I'm adding the filter, so you can add a filter. The filter is like a where clause in your SQL query. So what I'm going to add is where type equals something, right? So yeah, moving on. So here, if you click this, you can expose the filter. Exposing the filter means there will be a filter coming on top of your view where the user can select what type he wants to see, right? So I'm not going to use the expose filter now. I'm just going to use the normal filter. I'm going to say just select on this computer, save. So and then I go and refresh. I see only the computer. Okay. So moving on. Now I'm going to show you a contextual filter. Now what a contextual filter is, it's also a where clause, but it doesn't have a value. It doesn't have specific value. It will have a placeholder. The placeholder will come from the context of your view, which means it might be the profile page join, it might be the user page join, it might be the node page join, whatever. Right? So I'm going to just why I added this is the place that my filter value will come from. So product list / whatever the thing will be my type, product type. So I'm going to save, and now I'm going to add the contextual filters. The contextual filters are under the advanced section. So you have to collapse that, I guess, sometimes. So I'm going to add a type. And this is what to do if the value is not in the URL. So we can do page not found, access denied, or no charge found. So I'm going to do a page not found. Right. So if you can't find a matching filter, it will show a page not found. Right. So there. Now contextual filter is a problem area in use. People get confused on what this is, and there's a lot of questions on blogs about what it is. Pay attention. So I'm going to just override the title. Overriding the title is overriding the page title. So this has nothing to do with the actual contextual filter, right? So, but I'm going to add the filter now. This is %1. Is the first argument. So if you are using multiple arguments, what I'm saying is use the first argument. So what it will show is something like mobile products, something like that. Or computer products according to the type we select. That, and I'm going to just show you how the contextual filter works. So the neat thing is you can test your contextual filters from here. Just type the intended value for the filter and it will filter out your view. So actually my products are not coming from mobile because I have still got this filter. So I have to remove that because you can't add the same filter twice. I'm going to just go ahead and remove it, save it, and if you type mobile here, you'll see all the mobile devices. So, go to contextual filter, so I'll show you how it works on URL. If you go /mobile, you'll see the mobile devices, right? So that's how the contextual filters work. So I'll show you another neat thing about contextual filters. When you can't get it from the URL also. Sometimes you can't get the contextual filter from the URL. So I'll show you how to handle that as well. It's a little bit of PHP. So now, before I come to the contextual filters again, I'm going to show you something about relationships. So I have 3 content types: the main event, and the webinar clip, right? So the webinar clip will have a sub-event and the event will have a main event. So that's the relationship. So I'm going to show you how to pull out data from relationships, right? So I'm going to use, that's R1 and R2. Basically what I'm going to do is, my view is related to video clips, right? So in order to pull the data from here, so basically event has the main event and it has the title, and the main event will have the language, right? So it's something like you have this in singular and you have sub-events which is going to be in the same language, and the video clips are also going to be in that language. So I need to show the language of the video clip which is in this content type. So I'm going to show it here. And in order to do that, you'll have to do a bit of relationship handling. So I've got R2 and R1. I have a pre-configured view for this, so I'm going to use it. So I'm going to remove the relationships first. Here they are. Remove that. Okay. So I have removed the relationships which I configured previously. So basically, I have language which is from. I can select the field, but if you see below, yeah. First of all, what I'm going to do is. Can you see here, I have the clip title, the language, and I want to show the sub-event title, right? So, to show the sub-event title, I have to create the first relationship, which means from the webinar clip to the event, to the sub-event. So, that's what I'm going to do here. So, I'm going to look for my entity reference, which I have put on the field. So, I'm going to build this relationship, yeah, this one. So that I can pull the sub-event title. So first pull out the relationship. See this webinar event is a field inside the webinar clip content type. So make sure you name your fields correctly so that you can recognize it on views. So I added the relationship here, and my data has come. Can you see now it's showing the sub-event title. Previously it was showing the same title, right? So when we go, so the way to do it is, you have to add the relationship to the field, right? So otherwise the data won't come, the title will mean the node, current node title itself, right? So now I'm going to do the language, which is on top, right? So I will apply. As you can see, still the language is not there because we have not built that relationship. So I'm going to take the relationship, add the relationship. So I'm going to again search for event. So this is my field in my event content type. This is the entity reference field to the main event. It will reference, you can select what main event this event belongs to. So now I'm going to build this relationship, the R1. So in order to build it, I have to create a connector from R1 to R2 because otherwise we can't get the fields from the main event. So I have to build a bridge from R1 to R2 and then only get the data from here, right? So you have to do that. So when you are adding the relationship, you have to make sure the relationship you have added before is on top, so that now we have built the bridge between the two relationships, right? So see, the webinar event is the sub-event and main event. Right. And also you have to make sure the main event relationship is added to the language field here. So as you can see here, the main event is a relationship. Content entity. It's actually like a join when you are joining tables in SQL query, something like that. So now I can see the languages. So that's a pretty neat thing about the relationships. The thing I show, the reason I showed you this is, people get confused on how to use relationships. They know how to use the first relationship, but the second one they get confused. So if you have some more content types up the hierarchy, you just have to keep adding the relationships and keep correcting. Okay. So these are my content. As you can see, this is a main event, this is the event, this is a webinar clip. So something like this will refer to this. So something like that. And on this there is a language field or similar. That's just text is, right? So I'm just going to save it. I'm going to show you how to add contextual filter when it's actually not in the URL. We are taking it from the context, but it's not on the URL. So I'm going to use a bit of PHP for that. Okay. So I'm going to use my already configured. So here what I'm going to do is, when I'm on a product page that has mobile, I'm going to show mobile, and when I have a product page that has computers, I'm going to show computers. Right? So you can see this will come on a sidebar here. So we can pull that out. Okay. And then, so here's my view. So it's showing all the products when it's not in a page, but when I go to mobile page, it's showing the mobile phones only, right? So I'm going to show you how I did that. I'm going to the contextual filters, change mobile page. So on the home page you see all the products. That's because I'm configured it all. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. So on a computer page you see only computers, so you can see. So the thing is, I can't get the current displayed nodes type, so I'm going to use a bit of PHP to do it. Right? So this is a neat trick that you can do inside contextual filters. So here I'm going to say provide default value when the URL is not available, and I'm going to choose the type PHP code. So what I'm doing here is I'm getting the current displayed node. I'm going to check if it's not null. So always it's not a node page, necessarily it's always not a node page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to return the current node's field product type value. So it's going to be the product type of the current node. Or else I'm going to return all. So why I added all, I'll tell you later. All else. So this will make sure your product type is passed into the context of the view. So why I added all is this reason. You can add an exception value, which is all. So which will show all the values. So what I'm going to do is in the else part, I'm going to return all, so that in other pages it will show all the products. But we can also change it, right? So and also we can do something like don't show the current product on this side. So you can do stuff like that as well. So basically that's going to be my demo. And just to go back to my slides, this back. Right. Basically, so this is. I'm sorry I didn't have time for theming. I would have loved to do theming, but I just thought of giving you a few tips. So you can use the template.php file and use a custom module and use Views API to theme your use views. And actually, this is for the logic. If you want to change the logic, add it to the template.php file, or use a module, or use views handlers. The methods for theming is you can rewrite the field, or else you can change the style setting as I showed you, or else you can use a custom template. And optionally also you can use the simple HTML DOM, which is like kind of like selecting your elements using jQuery. So something like that. In a future meetup, maybe I can show you this. So that's also a neat trick, but not necessarily really recommended. But you can do a lot of manipulations with it. So it's time for the questions. I thought of making the slide a bit interesting. So if you have any questions, this is the time. Okay. Do we have time? Okay. So then these are the references I used. This is a nice tutorial on YouTube, and I used Google API to use, and you can contact me on any of the following places. And thank you for listening. So for the next presentation, I would like to call upon my friend and colleague Vishana to talk about the craft.
Thank you very much. Hi everyone, good evening. Vishana, for Doctor CMS. So, anyone know about Doctor CMS? So, Doctor CMS is about web content management system. What is a web content management system? Web content management system is about, let's say, we have a CNN news page, and there are people might be working with different departments to provide news to so the people need to create their content separately, which they might not be able to access to others' content. They need to provide the content, they need to publish the content in the right time. So managing, creating these contents and providing right access to right personnel and publishing them on time when they need it. So this is all about web content management system. So Kafka is a web content management system which provides allows you to create, manage, publish, and deliver any rich content. So Kafka CMS is 100% open source. It's built on top of well-practiced applications, open source applications such as Spring Framework, Solar, Alfresco, and Free Market templates. So when is Kafka an ideal machine? Let's say you have more than 250 employees who provide content, authors, provide content, and who produce content regularly, and we have a system which uses content management system like the Woven, Create, Documentum, or if you have a homegrown CMS. So this is the right way to replace with the Kafka CMS. Or else, if you have an existing Alfresco customers, so Kafka is the better content management system to provide content authoring on top of Alfresco content management system. So architecture, Kafka provides decoupled architecture. Its core is the Kafka Studio and Kafka Engine. The Kafka Engine is provide dynamic content delivery for dynamic web applications, and Kafka Studio is provide the content authoring mechanism on top of Alfresco. Alfresco provides features to managing the content within Alfresco content store. So let's see each and every components separately. Kafka Engine is highly scalable, high performance dynamic content delivery server, which is built on JW and the Spring Framework, which provides dynamic content delivery, dynamic navigation such as breadcrumbs, navigation, sitemap, powerful search integrated with Solar. So Solar has lots of search criteria, so it embeds all the search criteria into Kafka. It provides multiple user management So you can create lots of different personas based on different user categories. It also integrates with analytical tools. We'll look into the data. Powerful search. As I said, top integrated with Solar. Solar provides lots of search facilities like faceted, field type search, passive matching. So you can search by different word spelling, matching highlights, binary document indexing. So if you take a look at the module components, Doctor Search integrated with Solite provide the indexing and the search functionality for crop engines, and the crafted deployment agent provides the feature for it to deploy the file system. So then the components such as social and commerce, we provide the feature to publish content to social medias, and also it's get the analytics of social media and the user interaction, the user interest, everything. So these are different packages. Both files you can deploy separately, and you can scale these components separately. Craft is really concerned about performance. Craft engine provides from a single node to another provide more than 1 million fully dynamic pages. It's comparing with other CMS, web content management. Is 10 times faster than the other CMS, web content CMS. So let's focus on Craft Studio. Craft Studio provides the content authoring feature, which is lays on top of Alfresco content management system. It provides authoring, content management publishing, and it allows the users who are not that much technical people who can create their content, can manage their content, they can publish the content to the website. So some features in content preview, whatever thing you want ready, you can see within Craft Studio as it is, that will be deployed in other web applications, even in mobile device. Multi-channel preview, it provides, you can preview your web page in multi-channels like mobile applications. So you can edit each and every part separately according to the device you're going to deploy. Targeting and personas, as I told you about personas, you can create different kind of users based on their interest and based on the type of people. Let's say I want to create a personas for a set of users from age 18 to 25. So you can test your page that's going to be delivered. So based on the person. So if you once you could select your person, only for those group of people, according to those matching metadata, all the components will be loaded in your pages. So you can test your page, and you can edit the content within that page itself. In context editing, what do you see, what do you get? So you are editing whatever things you are going to be deployed as it is, and you will be editing on that point as that will be delivered in the deployed websites. Navigation tools, it provide you can use your tools to edit your content. It can be a desktop tool like Adobe Photoshop. So Craft will provide that kind of features as well. It provides component-based construction. You can categorize your content. You can put your common content to a common place. You can use it for other pages as well when you construct your page. Let's say you have footers, headers that might be used by every pages. You can drag and drop your footers and headers. Other than that, you might have the components like navigation, other types that might be shared with other pages. So you can drag and drop, do the editing, publishing. It's really easy. analytics. So Craft Engine, as you saw earlier, Craft Engine provides the analytical logic that can be rendered into content authoring studio. So the content author with the analytics within the authoring tool itself. So they can see the stories of the customers, their interest, and the web pages, everything they can analyze in Craft Studio itself. And Craft Studio provides integration with other third-party web analytics as well, and it also provides integration with Google as out of the box. So you can use Google Analytics itself. If you want, you can integrate other analytical tools as well. So workflow. Let's say you have content that need to be reviewed, then again review, then only can be published. So After provide you the feature as well. You can use the workflows, after the studio workflows. You can send it for reviews and then for publish. So it's easy to create your web page types. Web page types in a sense. Let's say you have a web application with 100 pages. 20 pages might be fitted to one template, another 20 pages into another template, and another 40 to another template. So you can easily create your template. So even you are not a technical guy, you can easily create a template. You just drag and drop the sheet, and once you save and edit, you go back and edit your page, the relevant page. It will pop up where you want to edit the content. So it's really easy. Data stores. In web pages, you might be having checkboxes, drop-downs, image filters. You can have multiple data stores for each and every control. So you can integrate your content store for each and every controls. It's easy for you to navigate and pick the relevant information what you want. So Alfresco. Alfresco is a enterprise content management system. We provide digital asset management, collaboration, document management, integration, and record management. Alfresco provides three key services. One, content services, collaboration services, and the other is control services. Content services, in a sense, you can create your content, you can upload content, you can edit your content, you can version your content. Other than that, it provides lots of features. In collaboration, it allows you to work with two different people at one time, and you can collaborate through wiki, docs, those kind of things. And also, the control services provide you the roles and the permissions. So all these services provided through APIs. So what Craft does, it get all those API services and it make use of to build their Craft Studio itself. So Alfresco is highly scalable. You can scale into cluster architecture. Even you can have your cluster in Alfresco in cloud. You can sync the content back to your original store as well. So in summary, Craft web content management is developed in Java, and if you take the core implement architecture of Craft Engine is more than 60% is implemented on Spring and Spring Market template, and Craft Studio is implemented more than 80% in JavaScript. So if anyone open source enthusiastic and who would like to contribute back to Craft, you can get into the CMS and you can work with Craft if you want. So learn more about Craft CMS. Any questions? Since I have another 2 minutes, I'll quickly show you a yeah.
You said Craft performance are limited and the other CMSs. So what is the secret?
Sorry, what is it?
Secret. Would you mind to tell us?
Honestly, I actually don't know what the secret is. Maybe the scalability they are providing will be a key feature. I'll check you and let you know. I'm actually doing. Thanks. Thank you. Any other? So these are the features. Organizational reviews. Targeting of different type of personas. Publishing channels. Right on fans. You can integrate your on devices. Harnessing links. You can edit the pre-market template that you are going to preview. You can find this video in Doctor's website. Questions? Okay. Thank you. Next, my colleague Ishan will be presenting on single sign-on with OpenAI. So I'd like to invite you.
Thank you, Shana. Just a reminder, this event is free to attend and participate in presentation. So I'd like you to, if you wish to present next time, please fill in the feedback forms with the contact details. We will contact you and you can submit your presentations and comment here. Next we have Ishan, who is a software engineer. He'll be presenting on Drupal integrated with OpenAM for single sign-on. Please welcome.
So, hello everyone, I'm Vishan and I'll be talking to you about OpenAM and how to access single sign-on Drupal using OpenAM. And we're going to use the technology called SAML 2.0. So let's get right into it. What is SSO? Anyone knows? Anyone wants to take a guess? No free t-shirts. Okay, SSO. It's an authentication process. So you need to go through this process and get authenticated to use something, right? So what we are trying to do with SSO is you provide your credentials once, and then you have access to all the applications that come under a realm. So let's see what a realm is in the next few slides. So once you're authenticated into one of your applications, you will have rights to access all the applications that are under that realm. Right? So in this small tutorial / presentation, what we are trying to achieve as a team together is to sign on once into Drupal and then be able to access many instances of Drupal that are connected. Right? And this connection is happening through OpenAI. Okay. So what is a realm? Okay. Think of a castle. Okay. The castle has many rooms. Okay. So each of these rooms can be an application that you have. Yeah. And once you enter into this castle, you have permission to enter into any of these rooms. So that's what, in a nutshell, a realm is. Okay. So you have rooms in your castle, and those are the applications that you have, and the whole castle can be a realm. and it's governed by one single unit. Okay, you see this picture, there's like a moat and there's a bridge over it. You have to cross the bridge to get into the castle. Okay, so that's what a realm is. Okay, so in a glimpse, this is what SSO is. Okay, previously, before SSO, you have three separate applications. To get into these three separate applications, you have to sign in thrice. Once here, once here, once here, to access these three. But with SSO, you just sign in once, and then you have access to all the applications that is governed by this guy who is in the thing. Okay, everyone understands? Can I have a wave of hands? Okay, so what is OpenAM? OpenAM is the magic here, right? So we are going to use OpenAM, and it's going to provide identification to all applications. It was formerly known as OpenSSO. It was run by Sun. Sun suddenly tried to abandon it, and they did, and ForgeRock took over, and they are maintaining it now. So what does it provide? It provides authentication, authorization, entitlement, and federation. Okay, so in a nutshell, what all these words mean is that you can authenticate against it, and you can provide authorization for users to access all your applications. Okay, setting up OpenAM. OpenAM is Java based, and it runs on Tomcat, and it's free and open source, so yay for free and open source. So I think everyone should be excited about using this as soon as you all get home. Okay, so how will Drupal talk to OpenAM? We are going to use a thing called SAML. It's actually an XML-based markup language that you use to exchange security information among the applications. Okay, so SAML 2.0 is all that I said. And so now what we end up is you have Drupal on top, and then some good guys who work with Drupal wrote a module that works with SAML. So we have the module, and then there's a PHP library that works with Simple SAML. Okay, Simple SAML is a PHP library. It's open source, so that's plugged in between, and that communicates with OpenAM. So if you are still not getting the picture, this is what it will look like. Yeah. So you have your three instances of Drupal, and all these three instances of Drupal will have the Drupal Simple SAML module. Everyone got it? Yes, sir. Okay. And then all these three modules will be talking to Simple SAML PHP. That's open source library, right? And Simple SAML PHP will be communicating to OpenAM and the user with OpenAM, and therefore once you authenticate with OpenAM, you automatically have access to all the three instances of Drupal. Okay. Fine. So this is one trick that I learned. It's a neat trick. Assuming that all of you guys host your Drupal stuff on Apache, you can at this line, you can write it down. It's worth writing it down. It's called alias. So once you at this line, you can trick and say that another server that you host exists within your server. Okay. So let's say you have a Simple SAML server and you have Drupal, and if you add this alias into that, you can access Simple SAML, let's say drupal.com/Simple SAML, and it will take you to Simple SAML. That's a cool feature. Right. So the 10 magical steps I call it, and the auntie there is going to take us through. Okay. So the first step to take is create the realm on OpenAM. Okay. I'll show a demo so you all will understand the steps clearly. Okay. So create the realm on OpenAM and create hosted identity provider. Identity provider is the unit within OpenAM that will be providing authentication. Okay, so that has to be configured separately. Next, you can export the metadata that this identity provider provides and use it within Drupal. Then set up Simple SAML, convert. You need to convert your Drupal metadata into XML. You will all understand it when I say it. And then you have to define your service providers. in authentications, a service provider means the applications that you have. So all your Drupal instances are called service providers. You understand? Okay. And then the module can be enabled, and you can single sign. So what? Why is single sign on important? It's because it makes life easy for everyone. As humans, we hate to do things many times over and over again. So what if you could like sign on to Facebook and then access everything that you have to sign on with without signing up? So that will be a really good feature. So that is what SSO is addressing, right? So with OpenAI, you can configure Alfresco and so many other CMSs to work with it. So that's the really feature. So let's see the new. Okay, what I had here is I have two instances of Drupal, SciC1 and SciC2. Here there are two separate instances, and I am trying to sign on once into one instance and get signed on into another instance. First thing you will do is fire up Tomcat, and you can do your startup.sh and that will run, right? So once Tomcat is fired, you can access OpenAI. Okay, so that's the login page. AM admin is the default login name. You log into OpenAI. Okay, so once you are logged into OpenAI, you need to create your realm. So realm is where all your service providers come under. It's like the castle that we initially discussed about. Okay. So you can go to access control, click on new, and you'll be able to create that. This is already created, and this showing you example. So the pair, you can make a hierarchy of realms. Okay. So and I add these two attributes to map all the users and what they have. Right. So CN is the common name, and mail we use those two attributes to see what the users have. Yeah. So once that is created, you have your realm name. And within your realm, subjects. Subjects are the users in your realm. So we have a demo user called demo. Okay. Next, we have to create our hosted identity provider. This will be providing the authentication for us. So you can click on hosted identity provider, and it will be using the SciC realm. So to enter SciC, you need to authenticate against this. Okay. So you have to adapt the same two attributes that you added, CN and mail. When users authenticate against this, they will automatically gain access to all the service providers that are under this plan. Okay. So now there you see your IDP means identity provider, OpenAI has been added. Next, you can export the metadata for this identity provider through a URL that is under internet. So you can get something like this with the certificate that identity provider gives. Next, we need to set up simple SAML. Simple SAML is a separate server that runs. So to set up simple SAML, you can use that neat little trick that I taught you. So in your virtual host file or in your httpd.conf, you all can write this virtual host and add this alias. This will tell that simple SAML is within Drupal, right? So once that is done, you can access simple SAML through Drupal. if you can see the URL, we are accessing Simple SAML. This is the Simple SAML UI through Drupal. So you paste that metadata that you copied from here onto this, and you can pass it. You can pass that and make a PHP array. Okay. So once you make this PHP array, you can paste it into a configuration file that is available inside Simple SAML. So that file is called SAML20 IDP remote.php. So you can go ahead and open that up. And add that metadata. Simple. Then we need to define the two service providers. Service providers are the Drupal instances that we have. Okay, so I'm going to name our service providers SP1 and SP2. So you have to add them inside AUH sources. So if you can see, default SP is SAML SP, and you need to add your service provider this time. All this documentation is online, so and I'll upload this video as well, so you all can so then you can again obtain the metadata that is provided by the service providers through Simple SAML. So when you click on show metadata, you have the metadata that this service provider. So you can get that metadata on a URL. So now what we have to do is edit to OpenAIM. Okay, so this way OpenAIM knows how to talk to Drupal and Drupal knows how to talk to OpenAIM. So register your service provider like that, choose the realm, put the URL of the metadata at the same attributes that you added to your realm. You can register your service provider. So those two attributes are added. So if you go to your federation type on OpenAIM, you can see that Simple SAML 1, Simple SAML 2, those are the two service providers. I've added another one also. Both of them are added. So now Drupal and OpenAIM are communicating effectively using Simple SAML. Those are the two. So now you need to log into Drupal and enable the Drupal Simple SAML module, which I spoke about earlier. So I'm going to do that. So you can find all your modules under the modules menu. Click on that. You scroll down. It's already enabled. If it's not, you can click on enable, it will enable that. Then you can click on this configure link, and you will have to say physically where Simple SAML library is located on your machine. Okay. And for this instance of Drupal, which service provider is being used? So OpenAIM 1, which we already configured. And these three are the attributes that will be used. These three attributes will be used to map users and Drupal, users on OpenAIM and users on Drupal. They'll be mapped using these attributes. So once that is done, you can actually use SSO. So you'll see how it happens. So once that is enabled, you'll have a link called federated login, right? So when you click that, Drupal will automatically redirect to OpenAIM. can use the demo user that we saw earlier, demo and password. Okay. So once demo is authenticated into OpenAM, so automatically logged into SIC1. Okay. Now what I expect is I should be also logged into SIC2. Yeah. Okay. So SIC2 is already done here. Federated login. Click on it. Validation is taking place. So I'm automatically logged in. So this can be easily done, but there's a little bit of configurations that need to happen. So as you see, I'm on the so moving on. Questions. I know I was quite fast. Any questions that you all have? I'll be happy to answer. These are interesting stuff. I hope all of you are followed. Any questions?
Will it should be created in Drupal also when you once you log in using OpenAM?
Yes.
So you don't have to physically create use on Drupal?
No. So
You said that.
if you all can remember, we mapped each user with their common name and their VM. So they'll be used to map the user. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Vishal. Next up, we have got our final presentation. It's about search. We all know how search is important to find your content in content management system, right? So this paper will talk to you about search, which is created by Impel. It consists of three technologies: Apache Solar, Elasticsearch, and Amazon Cloud Search. So Fran will be presenting on research solution. He is the director of IT Iberia. He's come all the way from Spain, and also he is the head of technology at Zyto Global. He has more than 8 years of experience in content management technologies. Please welcome Fran.
Before starting my presentation, well, it's a pleasure to be here, but before starting my presentation, I'm going to show you a video of the company. A couple of weeks ago, we had the Alfresco Summit. It's like the biggest event of Alfresco. Who knows Alfresco in the room? Apart from the safety guys? Nobody? Okay. Krishana explained before, it's the biggest open source ECN of the market, and it's technology and our products well demanding. Maybe you don't listen because my sound is rubbish, but because we are winners of 3 awards. These are all the services that we offer in Safety. That's very fast. Yeah. That's the more part now. It becomes better. Okay. We offer 24/7 support here in Sri Lanka. These are the technologies that we are expert with. That's true. This is the guys of the office in London. This is the guys of the office in Spain. And the guys from here. So we are lots of people, multilingual. physically, but we didn't have time to mount the video with the guys here. We have offices in all those places. And that's it, okay? Now let's go to the good part, that is the next generation of search. Okay? That's a bit the agenda we are going to follow. I'm going to show you the background in terms of search and content retrieval. Then Smart Search, which is the product that we have developed in Sicey. A real demo, I don't make videos. Finally, some conclusions. So, yeah. Content management is everywhere because content, data, information is everywhere. We live in a society where the technology and data is everywhere, so every day we receive lots of information. And because we receive lots of information, filter this information is key. So search of content is key. Almost all CMS and ECM provide full text search. But the question is this search good? We have been talking about Drupal, about Alfresco, so I'm going to focus on how Alfresco search is to compare it with what we have developed. As Krishna mentioned, it's the most important ECM in the world. It's document management, content management, records management. It also deals with workflows, with permissions, collaboration. It offers data via mobile, cloud, HTTP, FTP, lot of interface, okay, and provide full text search. But how is search in Alfresco? So before, right now Alfresco is in the 4.2 version. Alfresco 4 was released 2 years ago, but before these 2 years ago, Lucene was the only search engine in Alfresco. Lucene is an open source full text search library. Okay, so the indexes were managing in the Alfresco content, and permissions were checked after Lucene returned the result. What happened with that is that when Alfresco need to return too many results to users, it took a long time. Even worse, if the repository were too big and the index were big enough as to be huge, what happened was things like that. Okay, so really you got nothing. You got inconsistency. You could do a search, go and have a cup of tea, come back, and the search didn't finish it. Okay, so the present Alfresco 4, Alfresco 4.2, it provides Solar. Search subsystem is much better because it's an web application. It's based on Lucene, but it's a web application, so you can scale out Alfresco from Solar. You can configure different architecture depending on your use cases. So because of these three sentences, that indexes are managed outside Alfresco content, the permissions are checked at query time, and that there is no transaction content. Search is quite consistent, quite fast. Okay, so we are good. So we can say that we have a Formula 1. Okay, we have something that goes fast, something that we know will work. However, no car can fly. It means that we may need things that Solar cannot give us. That's why, because dealing with so many customers that have some requirements that Alfresco plus Solar itself could not meet, we create our, there are three basic scenarios that customers outcasts that cannot be mixed in Alfresco with Solar. If you have several Alfrescos and you want to search for all of them in a single index, you cannot, because the way that Alfresco is integrated with Solar only allows to have one instance of Alfresco. If you want to integrate Alfresco with another repository, let's say Drupal, or let's say SharePoint, Joomla, you cannot, because each content management system speaks its own language. Because of that, you cannot merge in a single index and you cannot present it in a single page. Well, you can, but you need to do custom development, and this is what we want to avoid here, okay? And also, we know that Solar in Alfresco looks great, it's good, but Solar version of Alfresco is 1.4. Current Solar version is 4.5. So it's been some years of development, of improvement. Search in Solar 1.4 compared with search in Solar 4.5 is much slower, okay? And because of that, we decided to create our aircraft spatial vehicle, okay? This is what I'm going to show you. The thing about smart dogs is purely marketing, size set, okay? Well, our solution is based on Apache Manifold. Who in the room knows about Apache Manifold? Okay, only 7. Well, Siva, you don't know about Siva. Okay. I will explain later what's Apache Manifold. It's a solution decoupled from Alfresco. I am offering the example of Alfresco, but we could integrate it with different connectors, Drupal, SharePoint, FileNet, file systems. Okay? As I said, so it can be integrated with different content providers at a time. And another important thing is that preserve security and permissions within Resolve. A lot of time we have seen solution of federated search, but they were not good enough because they didn't realize our permissions. That means that if I want to have different repositories, but I am the CEO of my company and I want to see documents that someone else cannot, you could not do it. So that's an important feature that we have preserved. In a technical point of view, what we have done is an API to manage set manifold services, an API for searching, also decoupling the search from the engine chosen, because like Tashika said, our solution allows to search content from different repositories in Solar, in Elasticsearch, and in Amazon Web Search, that are the best technologies nowadays in terms of cloud scaling and user experience. We have created a simple bundled user interface that I am going to show you through the demo, and we have done different manifold customization. Okay. Apache Manifold is an open source Apache software foundation project. Its aim is getting content from repositories, push this content on search services, respecting permissions, okay, and it's based on two concepts, connector and job, okay? And it follows the crawling model of I knew that there is something new, I get it, or I knew something has changed, I get the change, or I knew something has been deleted, I delete it from my search engine. This is the overview of Apache Manifold. In the left side we have the repository that we extract information. In the right side we have the search server where we ingest the information. Down below we have the ACS where we extract the permissions. So we create a repository connector to map the information of the repository and output connector to ingest the information in the search server and authority connector to retrieve and to realize about ACLs, about permissions. In the middle, the job that places everything in order, that manage every synchronization between the repository and the search server. I know theory is a bit bullshit, so I'm going to show you a demo that you are going to understand much better everything. This is the architecture of my demo. Okay, I could be talking about it 5 minutes, but I'm going to be short. We have like repositories, 2 frescoes, and 1 file system. We have 1 fresco about the sport news, the other fresco is about movies, actors, okay, the world of cinema. The file system is about documents. Okay, the Alfresco movies is integrated with RedLink. RedLink is also a company, a spin-off from Site. It's a company that we also manage, and it offers software as a service, semantic enrichment, linked data, semantic technologies. Okay, so we basically, what we want to have is, because Alfresco store too much unstructured information, we want to be able to extract structured information from this unstructured information. So we extract entities, we create relationship between documents. I don't have time to show it, but it's really interesting. Maybe in the next meetup, Jani will show something. In the right side, we have Amazon Cloud Search, Solar, and Elasticsearch. Amazon Cloud Search has indexed the information of the 2 Alfrescos. Apache Solar has indexed the information of the Alfresco sports and the file system, and Elasticsearch only about Alfresco sports. That's an example of the flexibility that you can have. But that's a good way to show you the example of how it works. In the middle, our solution, managing the content from the repositories and putting in the search engines. Finally, prior to the demo, these guys are very European, but I will introduce you in case you don't know them. The left guy is Christian Bale, okay, he's a football player from Real Madrid. The right guy is, sorry, the left screen is Gareth Bale, the right Christian Bale is actor, and among other films, he's been Batman in the Christopher Nolan's movies. They don't share anything but the surname, but I want to use the surname to show you that Gareth Bale belongs to the Alfresco sports and Christian Bale belongs to the Alfresco movie. I'm going to take a seat because I'm going to feel better. So that's Apache Manifold. It's not very beautiful actually, the user interface. This is not our user interface. Actually, we are working in a better one. In the left column, we have all the output authority and repository connectors that we have. For instance, in repositories, we have the Alfresco movies, the Alfresco news, and the file system with the document. In the output, we have Amazon Cloud, Elasticsearch, Solar Cloud, and one that does nothing. In the jobs, we have the job that map the information of Alfresco news in Elastic, the job that map the information of Alfresco news in Solar, of Alfresco news in Amazon, of Alfresco movies in Amazon, and the file system in Solar. Okay, I will run later a job so you can see how it works. You need to go to that section, and you can run every job separately. You can also schedule. So it can be executed every certain time. These are the 2 Alfrescos. Maybe I have lost my session. Fresco news. Okay, so if I search for Bay, I have news about Bay, the football player. Most of the news are in Spanish, so I will not open them. Okay. So if we go to Alfresco movies, well, not to mention this news talks about Bale, the football player. Okay. So I go to the movie site, I search for Bale, and I got information of Christian Bale there. Okay. So we have two different instances of Alfresco, each of them talking about a different topic, and we have management. Okay, we have our solution. So we have a single search box where you can search for information, and in the left side we have different pages. Okay, I didn't mention before, but one great feature of these three search engines is that allows you to use user experience search capabilities like highlighting, faceted search, fuzzy search, lot of different things. Okay. So for instance, I search for Bay, and if you remember the architecture diagram, we have news of both Bay because in Amazon we have Alfresco news and Alfresco movies. So we can filter for football, and we will have 9 different news. But if we want to filter, for instance, about the document that talk about Christian Bale, about a Bale with Batman Begins, we have one document. Okay, I go to Elasticsearch, and because we only have indexed the Alfresco sports, so it will only contain news about Gareth Bale, the football player. The same with Solar. Okay. Another important feature that I mentioned before is that we can take care of permission. Okay. If we take a look at Solar, we can see that we have 1,162 documents because I am using the admin user. Okay, but if I change it for my personal user, because I am less important than the admin user, I will not be able to see so many documents. Actually, well, hold on. I need to reload the page. I already see 520. Okay, that's important for a lot of use cases. So it's something that we can say. Then, if you remember, Solar contains also information about the file system. Okay, actually it contains information about this document. This morning I put a document about this meetup. Okay, so if we search something about the meetup, for instance, I know Laxika is in the text, so we have the news. If we go to Amazon, unless Laxika is a famous star and I don't know, we won't have documents, okay? We don't have it. So, finally, I'm going to upload a new, so you can see how fast this indexing. Okay, so I'm going to the new site. I'm going to document library, the next folder, for instance, here, okay, and I'm going to upload a document. This morning I was searching about news in Sri Lanka. Apparently you guys are going to collaborate economically with Pakistan, so congratulations. We have uploaded the document here. Okay. So, for instance, I'm going to use Elasticsearch. I'm going to search about Pakistan. We have two documents, but they are all documents. Okay. So I'm going to run a job. And I'm going to run the Alfresco News Elastic. Okay. So when I run this job, Manifold goes to Alfresco and asks Alfresco, do you have something new for me? I haven't refreshed it yet. We see that we used to have 1,138 documents. Now we have one document more, which is the one that we want to index. So it catches the document from Alfresco and in this case push it into Elasticsearch. Okay. When it finishes, it then a notification to Manifold saying that all the job is done. So all the job is done. So if I search now for Pakistan, that's the hot part, we have it. Okay. So you can see that we can index very fast that I am not liking. Okay. Getting back to the presentation, just to finish. These are the conclusions. Okay, I want you to only remember 3 things when I finish the presentation. Is that with our solution we are able to search and index in the most popular cloud search solution. That we can retrieve information from most popular repositories and data providers altogether, and important, we can manage permission and security for data. And because it's something that we have been doing for a long time, it's fully supported by us, those guys. Okay? If you don't want to remember these 3 sentences, just remember that image. Okay? Left side, the most well-known repositories in the world, the left side, the most well-known search engines in the world, and that's it. Thank you very much for attending, and I hope you have fun. Thank you.
So we have completed our presentation. Before we wrap up, I'd like to thank all present here today. Thank you very much. You can Nishana, Viraj, and Nishan, sharing your knowledge and time with the audience. And also I'd like to thank Daiji for sponsoring this event. Thank you very much. And thank you all for attending this event and joining with us. I hope you have gained a lot. Okay, so we have arranged something outside there to refreshment. Please serve yourselves. Since this event is free to attend at present, I'd like to